Hello world, Shelly here, and it's time for your Friday foundation fix, where you can get your fix of foundation reviews in between foundation fests. And today I got 25 minutes to get out the door. It's going to be a fast one. I'm checking out the Hourglass Hyaluronic Skin Tint, the Illusion Hyaluronic Skin Tint. This retails for $56, just in time for the Sephora sale. If you want to get your hands on this one, you get 1 fluid ounce of product. Right now it's getting 4.2 out of 5 stars with about 1,500 reviews on Sephora's website. Comes in 8 different shades. I have it in the shade Vanilla, which is the lightest shade, described as light with a cool undertone. This is a light to medium coverage skin tint for sensitive, normal, or dry skin. Radiant finish, SPF 15. Hourglass is a cruelty-free brand, and they are vowing to be completely vegan by 2020. So, heck yeah, I like that. Now, if we go by the claims this makes on their website, this sounds like it was made for me. A foundation that smooths the look of fine lines and wrinkles and sagging skin and delivers a radiant glow for a smoother, firmer, youthful-looking complexion. It's hydrating, firming, evens out skin tone, softens imperfections, boosts moisture levels. It's formulated with the they made a fancy word about hyaluronic. Hyaluronin complex, an advanced form of hyaluronic acid that plumped, tightened appearance while, that sentence is strange, filling in deep wrinkles. Pearlescent pigments infuse the complexion with a luminous glow. Its whipped, creamy texture imparts a medium to full coverage. Okay, it says light to medium higher up on the page, with SPF 15, no parabens, no sulfates, no phthalates, no fragrance. So, that's where we are starting out. Let's take a look at this swatched against some other products in my collection. Alrighty, let's swatch. First up is today's foundation, the Hourglass Illusion Hyaluronic Skin Tint in shade Vanilla. Next is Estee Lauder's Stay in Place Double Wear in 1C1 Cool Bone. Third, I've got the Cover FX Natural Finish Foundation in shade P20. Fourth is MAC Mineralize in shade NW13. And last, I've got the Lancome Renergy Lift in shade 160. The Hourglass is definitely the most pink undertoned of the foundations we've got here. Starting out with a 44-year-old face, I've got some sun damage that I like to cover up. I have deeper smile lines, some forehead lines. When my skin gets very dehydrated, I start to see crow's feet happening here. I do have some large pores on my cheeks and some texture between my eyebrows that I like to cover up. My skin is pretty well normal right now, but it dehydrates very easily. I am normal to dry, and especially as winter is approaching, I'm starting to have more of these signs of dry skin, my itching and my flaking and things like that. I don't have any dry spots that are visible on my face right now. So I would say I'm still pretty normal, but I tend toward dry very, very easily. So let's see how well these claims hold up with this Hourglass. Ooh, it's thicker than I anticipated. I'll go in on one side of my face with a sponge. This is from AOA Studios on Shop Miss A. These are like $1.55, and I really like them. It is dampened. The other side I'll use a brush. This is my e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. We'll see if there's a preference one way or the other. Just realized I did not prime my face. Maybe we'll do a half and half primer test today. We'll do my Strivectin Lime Blur Factor on this side of my face, since that's the side I have no product yet. I see some evening of skin tone, but not much coverage at all. I still see all my sunspots poking through with the sponge. I almost feel tempted to use my fingers with this one. It's a pretty thick, sort of pasty consistency. I think the coverage is a bit better with the brush, and I do feel like I like the smoothness that's happening with the brush. This also could be the fact that I just put primer on, but let's do a little bit more product just to try and even out this side of my face. This I did smooth out a bit more with the brush, so I would say the brush is the way to go for the smoothest application of this one. Definitely radiant. I know I was a bit glowy with my skincare when we started, but this is definitely glowy, 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 glowy. I like how it looks. There is no way this is getting up to full coverage on any planet that is... If your definition of full coverage means everything's covered, I don't think this is going to ever get there, but I would say this is a nice light to medium coverage. I still see a little bit of sunspots poking through, but I think it's kind of a natural look to it. The radiance is definitely good. It is covering up my hyperpigmentation on my jawline here pretty well, so yeah, okay. Gonna put the rest of my face on. Check-in time, let's call it 10 a.m. so I remember that, and I'll be right back. Here we go. Everything blended just fine. I did set just my cheek area and my temples with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish powder, just in anticipation of not being able to blend powders on top of this. I don't think I needed to. I think everything probably would have blended just fine. It has set down nicely. It doesn't feel dry. It feels, you know, it's got, I can tell there's makeup there when I touch it, but I think I could have blended things on top of it, but I just wanted to be safe, and everything I think blended nicely. Everything still looks quite luminous. On the rest of my face, my bronzer is the Balm Desert, and my blush is Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, and my highlight is Natasha Denona Super Glow. This is super glowy, you guys. Like this whole face going on here. My eyes are the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye Contour Palette. Mascara is the Hourglass Caution Extreme. This is only one coat of this mascara. Liner is Trooper from Kat Von D. Brows are Benefit 24 Hour. Buxom is the lip gloss. I think that is everything I am wearing. I am only 3 minutes late for work right now, so I'm going to get out of here. I'll come back in a few hours with a daylight check-in, and I'll come back at the end of the night with my final thoughts. Hey guys, it's been almost 4 hours. Figured I would check in outdoors. We have a little bit of sunlight. That's my favorite tree this time of year. My hands are full, so I cannot get my hair out of my face. I apologize. Still super dewy looking. Let's just go this way. Still super dewy looking. I think this is a pretty nicely smoothing foundation, but I was wondering, looking in bathroom lighting just a minute ago, if this has oxidized a little bit. Maybe? I feel like maybe it has oxidized just a little bit toward yellow. I don't know. That's my thought right now. I will be back in a few hours with my last check-in. 9:51 p.m. We are minutes away from the 12-hour mark with the Hourglass Illusion Hyaluronic Skin Tint. So, how did it hold up? My first comment, this product right here pulls off the radiant complexion claim more thoroughly than I think any product I've ever worn on my face. Look how glowy this still is 12 hours later. No joke, definitely a radiant finish. I was driving this afternoon with my mom, maybe 7 hours into the day, and I was like, I'm trying a new foundation. She's like, wow, that is glowy. I think she used the word shiny. And yeah, so that claim definitely holds up to that one. I think this is a relatively moisturizing formula. My skin does not feel dry. It actually feels really good and pretty much still plumped the way a good moisturized skin would be. I'm not really having the drag lines that I get when my skin gets dehydrated. Very comfortable to wear, I will say that. Up close, that's where things break down. This little puppy here, I would say, broke down maybe a good 3 hours ago. You might get 8 hours out of it, maybe 9, but it does the break up, cake up kind of thing. So I've got polka dot pores and much coverage missing from my nose. Coverage on my chin is just about gone. The whole lower half of my face pretty much has no product left on it. My blush, bronzer, highlight are still minimally intact, but a lot of that is breaking up, and you can kind of just see it breaking up. My nose is very cakey. Product is just caking up in gathering up into different spots. The texture in between my eyebrows is pretty well visible, and the product is breaking along those movement lines, and there's just pretty much not a whole lot of product left on my forehead. So the wear time on this, pretty minimal. You'll get maybe a work day out of it. I don't think it looks bad from a distance. You know, at a conversational distance, it just looks like end of the day makeup, but up close, it really is pretty much a hot mess. There's not much good to say about the wear time. As far as fine lines and wrinkles, I don't think this settles into fine lines, but I do have it settling into my deeper chin lines. With pores and texture, I think it started out having a beautiful blurring effect, but maybe the 3 to 4 hour mark, I started to see more of my skin's natural texture come through, and it was probably just because the product was wearing away. Do I notice a significant difference on the side with no primer versus the side with primer? Not really. This whole area is basically missing product on both sides, regardless of the primer. Honestly, the side of my nose that had primer has more product missing from it. I have not blown my nose or really touched my nose at all today. I do think that maybe my smile lines look a little less obvious on the side with primer, but like I said, there's not a whole lot of product of the foundation left here anyway, so I don't know that primer could have saved this. It didn't save it on this half of my face, so I don't think that's a big player in the performance for this particular one. I will say that this gives a lot more coverage than I was anticipating, considering they call it a skin tint. I was thinking more of like a BB cream kind of a coverage, and I think you can get this to a light medium coverage. I disagree that it can get all the way to full coverage. I would have had to put a ton of product on my face, and I don't think it would have built up very well or looked very well just from the little bit of building that I did. So with all those things in mind, if I had to give this a grade for dry and maturing skin, I'm going to say the Hourglass Illusion, it's a B-. I think it's comfortable. I think it wears nicely for a few hours. I think it breaks down a little bit too quickly for my taste. I think it does hold up to its claims of being moisturizing and being a definitely radiant finish. It does not come in a very great shade range. There aren't a ton of shades to choose from. Maybe that will change because Hourglass is pretty good with their shade range for other foundations that they've got, so that's a possibility. If you've got really deep wrinkles, I'm not sure this will work, but it is okay, it seems, at least on me, for fine lines. So I'm gonna go B-. This one's okay. I will wear it. I will continue to wear it. Did we address the... How does it look oxidation-wise in this lighting? I feel like it got a little bit yellow, and there's not much product left to really be able to tell, but it might have oxidized toward yellow just a bit. Yeah, I'm okay with a B-. I'm going to go B- on this one. I like it. I'm not head over heels in love with it. I think it's a good product. It'd be one of those where I would say, run over to Sephora, grab yourself a sample, and try it before you sink down those hard-earned dollars. There you have it, another foundation fix in the books. If you like foundation reviews, if you enjoyed this one, if you would like to see more foundation videos on my channel, give me a thumbs up down below. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. If you've got suggestions for foundations, you know where to put them, down in the comments. And if you want to see all of the details and data on the foundations I've reviewed in the past, there are more than 100 of them. Go to my website, geekoutofwater.com, click the Foundation Fest link. I've got a ranked, sortable, searchable spreadsheet of all of the foundations that I have reviewed right on there. Scroll that thing to the side. There's a ton of data in that spreadsheet. There you have it. Thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. I appreciate it, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.